here on Patreon. I'm on 5 o'clock on the dot. You know why? Because there's nothing else to do. I have not done anything else today. I have chilled out today. Bit of a rest day because there's very little going on in the world. But that doesn't matter. We can have a chat. Talk about a few little things, whatever's going on. Balassi, he left the club, so that's good news. He's gone to Sporting Lisbon. So that's excellent. The club have put a thank you out to everyone for doing the second part of the consultation. So if you want to have a chat about that, if you want to have a chat about anything, I don't care about whatever it is you want to have a chat about. Let's have a chat about it. If you want to chat about Sunday, let's continue chatting about Sunday. I do not mind. Gary Ward, Hardy, my friend, having your dinner break, I'm sure, in the United States of America. I actually messaged Baz before and seen if he had any Wi-Fi, but he hasn't got back to me yet because I was going to see if he could call in and give us an update on what is happening in America. He messaged me last night and he said that the airport is shut today, and he said they're not sure about Wednesday, and I think he's due to leave tomorrow night. So I was going to get him to call in, but he hasn't got back to me yet. I was going to test Discord and see if I could get a phone call through it, and see if that didn't mess around with the stream too much. So, but yeah. Whether you're watching on Patreon or whether you're watching through the YouTube app, just give me a message. Say hello. Tell me where you are. Let's get this going. I think this is going to be like the quietest week because it's coming off the back of a game. And you've got nothing. There's no preview. It's all the international games. So it's going to be so quiet this week. So I haven't done anything today. The Tuesday topic's out. I thought me and Andy, the Piv, had a good chat about the season so far. Well, the 5 games so far. And tomorrow we'll sit down and we'll do the podcast and we'll do the footy show and we'll do the Premier League show. And if he sticks around, we'll do the Live at 5, which will be on YouTube as well. And Thursday, I think Gavin Buckland is due to come into the studio to have a chat about his new book. So that's good as well. So, yeah. So, come on, get your comments in. Let me know what's going on. Doesn't matter if you've got nothing to say. Just say, I'm here, I'm watching, where you're watching from. And what have you been doing? And what are you doing right now? Because otherwise, this is going to be a bit of a boring Live at 5. Let's have a little look what's been going on. So, as I mentioned, Everton have thanked the City of Liverpool for the incredible response for the second stage of the consultation. Which is good. Morales has said, he said, half a year ago I decided to return to Belgium for family reasons. Antwerp pushed through the hardest in March and April. I was once together with my wife, my child and my manager. The conclusion was that after 16 years it was time to move closer to home. My family had spent a bit abroad. Moreover, one day I wanted to play in Belgium first class. As a little boy, that was my initial dream. On an emotional level, it does something to me. Of all the Belgian clubs, Antwerp pushed the hardest. All parties involved have made an effort. I'm glad it worked. Well, there you go. That's nice. That's nice to hear. Apparently, Everton have been linked with Wigan's Joe Gelgart. I believe he's a very good player who has impressed for Wolves in the under-17s. Jordan Pickford has said that he had a heart-to-heart with Marco Silva, and he said he has mellowed this season. That's good. Obviously, Balassi has gone, which is really good news. And he said, I don't know what he said. I can't find it. Marco Silva has said about Gbamin, it is really important that we support JP. We have to be there in the bad moments when players are in a good moment. You might just say good morning and leave them to train and enjoy the day. That is enough. But when you are not so good moment, they need all the support we can give them, starting from me as a manager to all the staff and their teammates. There you go. He said it's a tough moment for him, not only because of the injury, but because of the time. He will be out the squad. It's up to us to give him all the support for him to be optimistic about the situation, even in the tough moments. I'm 100% involved in the process. It is the worst thing for a football player when they're injured and cannot help the team or enjoy being a Finch Farm with their teammates. There you go, a little bit of an insight to what's going on. Right, come on, let's get your comments in. Evan Osborne says, cheers from Tennessee, Ped. I was on the beach at the weekend in South Carolina, and there was a under mandatory evacuation, so we left early. Hopefully Baz gets back all right. Hopefully he does, because I'm going on holiday. So if he's not back, then there'll be no shows next week. I'm sure he will be. I'm sure he will be. Dave Collins says, Iwobi and Bernard give us a very strong left side, but I think we need more on the right and through the middle. Yeah, I think that he needs, obviously going for Sahar was the competition for the right. I think we'll need another right back. I think we'll need a top-class right back to push him. So, yeah. Kane, did you go to Sheffield Wednesday by train in the past, Ped? If so, is the ground easy to go to from the train station? Can't get the coach there. Why can't you get you personally can't get the coach? No, I think I went last time I went. I think I've only ever been to Sheffield Wednesday in the car. On that Snake Pass, which is a dangerous road. I've never been on the train, I can't remember. Do a Google search, Kane, come on, man. No, I think I've only ever been there in the car. Timo, all by yourself? Yeah, I'm all by myself, mate. I haven't filmed anything in here today. I've just come in to simply do this show. That's all I've done. I haven't done any filming today whatsoever. Because to be honest, there was no need to. Me and Andy will film and record some stuff tomorrow, so there's no real need to do it today. So I've just chilled out and watched a bit of Solo, if I'm honest. I just went on Sky Movies, it was on, so I just put it on. He says, almost lunchtime here in Chicago, with little to do at work on a rainy day in the windy city, eh? Saturday made me feel excited for Keane. I think you mean Sunday, but that's all right. I thought he kept the Wolves backline busy and played really mature game for his age. I hope we can get him some more better service because he's working his butt off with little to show for this. I thought he got enough of the ball on Sunday. I just thought he just didn't carry it very well. It's hard though because he's got to understand how players work, and players got to understand how he works, and that'll take time, and that's probably why the manager hasn't thrown him in straight away. All these things take time to gel together. So, yeah. Gary Ward, it's international break. The transfer window was shut. Nap time. Yeah. On the transfer window, though, what are everyone's thoughts on? It looks like the Premier League are going to vote to go back to having the window close at the end of the month. I still don't agree with that personally. I like it done. I think this is just tell me if I'm loud enough as well, by the way. If I'm not loud enough, let me know. Or if I'm loud enough, let me know. I don't know. I'm just going to... I think that, personally, all these managers that are coming out moaning, and I know Marco Silva's mentioned this as well, they should have done the work. I mean, I know they're moaning that the European window shut and hasn't moved, but so what? So what? Who has been bought in Europe that the Premier League would have gone, and who has left the Premier League team that would have stayed? Get a grip of yourselves. Get a grip of yourselves. For me, there's nothing to be gained by the Premier League's transfer window staying open till the end of the month. For me, I just think it shutting before the window, before the season starts, is perfect. And just because Europe hasn't fallen in line, make the season, push the season so it starts in the middle of August at least. Then give us another extra week at least. The season started too early for me, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not with this at all, because all of it. So if it closes at the end of the month, what are they going to start saying then? Oh, it needs to stay up until the middle of September. It shuts when it shuts, and if other countries don't shut, then that's up to them. That is completely up to them. But I honestly, I just don't see the point in it at all. I just don't see the point in moving it. But that's just me. I know, again, all it's designed is for teams, big teams with more money to come and try and take your players off you. But let me know your thoughts. You might all disagree with me, and that's fine. Weirdly, nobody's commenting on YouTube. Anyone who's commenting, everyone's commenting on the on Patreon, which is good. Steve S says, I did the Bramley-Moore survey online, but they never got an email confirmation back confirming that I'd completed it. So I did it again, and there was no alerting I'd already done the survey. So I completed it again, but once again, no email confirmation or thanks for doing the survey. It made me feel that perhaps mine and many others had not been received. A simple confirmation would have helped. I can't honestly remember if I got a confirmation, but what I will say is that I believe that they got about 30,000, more than 30,000. Now that might be because of you, Steve, doing it on multiple occasions, but I believe they got a hell of a lot, and now they've got to sift through them. And obviously, if there's multiple ones with the same email, they'll have to be kicked off, and we'll have to just go through them all. That'll be the process in the next few weeks, won't it? Getting that sorted, but fantastic a response. And I believe I went to a Q&A a couple of weeks ago with Denise Barrett-Baxendale and Colin Chong, and they were saying the first consultation was probably one of the highest consultations that Colin Chong, who's worked in the construction agent business for a long time, he was saying it was one of the largest he'd ever known. The likes of, I don't know, things like Liverpool One, the big shopping centre in Liverpool. Nothing compared to what Everton's was, and this one was even higher. So that's fantastic news, really is. Evan, did you see Iwobi's comments about his teammates and he laughed at him when he tried heading the ball in training? Thought that was an interesting comment, given how comfortable he looked heading the ball so far for us. Well, I suppose he might have got performance anxiety. I've heard that's a thing. Never experienced it myself, but I believe that's a thing. And maybe in training, the ball just zips off him, and when it comes to the day when he needs to do it, he does it. There you go. David Collins, yes, David, these are the kind of questions I want. Do you think the Black Widow film will be any good? Yes, I do think the Black Widow film will be good. She's a brilliant character, brilliant actress, and it would be nice to round off her character by giving her own film, and I do think it'll be good. I do think it'll be good. Sorry, I'm just having a stretch in my arms. Yeah, if it's made by Marvel, it should be good. They don't genuinely let poor films slip through the net. Let's just say that. Timo, I prefer the window closing before the season starts, and you sound fine. Thank you. I'm using a new. I don't know if you might even noticed. I'm using a new way of getting the sound into. Always improving, always looking to improve the show, and I'm using a new way of getting the sound into the microphone, into the camera. It's a better microphone. The ones we use when we do the shows on the couch, and I've found a way to do it. So, it always trying to get better. Stephen Kelly, all right, Ped, mate, doing a great job. Cheers, Steve. How far off is Marcel Brands away from getting the squad? Him and Marco want another transfer window to get rid of the Deadwood. Do you think? I think next summer, you'll have what? Cuco Martini gone. Nias. Has he got? Nias got another year. I think he's got another year, hasn't he? Well, either gone or in his last year. Balassi in his last year. And if he does well at Sporting, who's to say they won't keep him? Morales is gone. Leighton Baines will go. Sandro will be down to his last year. I think he'll be in his last year, won't he? And hopefully if he has a good year, although there's no signs of that, but if he has a good year, he could go as well. And then we use the money we saved on Morales, Balassi, Nias. And you're talking there about players who were on like 70 grand minimum. Okay, Cuco Martino won't be on that much, but you're talking players who are on a minimum of that kind of money. So you can turn that into, and we're talking about FFP here. So you turn that into new players, and then so I think we do need another summer. I think we need, so next summer you'd be looking for another centre back, a right back. You'd have obviously players like Gabaman would have 6 months under the belt. So, yeah. Then you've got players like Schneidlin, and you start making decisions on people like him. And then you look at the team and go 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and you're thinking that's what you need. You need a nucleus of 20 to 27-year-olds as the main squad. Timo says, I prefer the window closing before this. Yeah, I said that, didn't I? David Collins, I think other leagues need to follow the same process. The Premier League money turns the football world. It does. And that's why I don't understand why these managers are complaining. All right, Pochettino's complaining because of Eriksen. But then, why did he let Eriksen go into the last year of his contract then? And I don't understand it. You're complaining about 3 weeks of a transfer window, when really the window should be shut, so that you shouldn't be selling anyone. As soon as our window shuts, you should be saying no one's going. If you want to get a move somewhere, you've got to go, unless they're players that you don't want. Kane says Silva probably wants a longer window because Brands leaves things last minute to get the right deal at the right price. But then, if that's true, Kane, would Brands not leave it another couple of weeks then? Just because the season starts, he's still going to try and get the players at the right price. So, I don't know. You might think the window shutting early gives the club less time to get the appropriate price for the player, but I disagree. We should keep it how it is. I just always think that managers or whoever just want more. And I just think if it gets moved, I just don't see I think they're complaining about the wrong thing. I think the Premier League season needs to not start till at least the 14th of August or whatever time around that, 2 weeks into August. Because the players don't come back from international tournaments, and there's always an international tournament. So, You know, next year, summer, it's the Euros. And the summer after that, it'll be the Copa America again. And the African nations again, or whatever. And then the year after that, it'll be the World Cup. There's always a tournament in the summer. So that's what they should be saying. I don't know. David Collins says, I filled it out 4 times and I live in Leeds. There you go. Timo says, what are you looking forward to most on Disney Plus? For me, it's The Mandalorian. Looks amazing. Mandalorian and all the Marvel shows, to be honest, Timo. All the Marvel, all the MCU. And just having everything in one place. Be able to put it on and be able to watch anything you want from like Disney, Star Wars. I'm also looking forward to the Clone Wars as well. I'm looking forward to everything. Gary Ward says, how's the quad feeling? Do you know what? I think I said yesterday on one of the shows, there's like a little microphone head thing over there, and I went to kick it. And when I went to kick it, I completely forgot about my leg because it had been hurting me. And when I went to kick it, I felt it again, and it's been killing me for the last 24 hours. So I think that rules me out for a few weeks in my new league that I'm playing in. Supposed to be playing in a friendly on Thursday, and it's not. I won't be playing, and then I'm on holiday next week. So, but hopefully by the time I come back from holiday, the following week, it'll have been 3 weeks since I've done it. But I'm feeling it now. But hopefully, it'll have sorted itself out. I'm open. Steve says, when are you going to a Brexit show? Would be TV gold. Steve, I mean, where'd you start, mate? I mean, the Tories have just lost the majority. They do not have a majority in the House of Commons. They've just lost an MP to the Liberals, which is mad. But where'd you start, mate? It's. But I'll tell you what I don't like. I'll tell you what I genuinely don't like, and I'm not gonna sit on this point because I know some people don't like politics and will have different opinions to me, but I don't like this thing of people going, oh, just get it done. Just get it done. No, let's not just get it done, right? Let's not just get it done at all. This is this is the most important decision this country is going to make for the next 50 years. I'll be probably gone by the time this gets all sorted out. But it can't just be sorted. It has to be done properly, and that's why these dicks in power shouldn't be allowed to just ramrod it through, just because they've put a date on it, and they are trying to survive. This isn't a transfer window. This can take as much time as it wants to get sorted out till it gets sorted out properly. Michael Hull Factor says, slightly off topic, last week in the NFL, my quarterback, Andrew Luck, suck for luck. I remember that. Didn't he say he was an Evertonian? Retired in his prime, and was the top 5 to 10 players in the NFL. Has anything like that ever happened in world football? It was gutting for sure. Now, I believe he retired because he was injured, wasn't he? And he didn't want to face the prospect of rehabilitation and how hard that was going to be. He's 29, isn't he? So, maybe not the same circumstances because top player. Marco van Basten had to retire when he was 29, 30. And it was heartbreaking because when I was growing up, he was my hero, non-Everton hero. What a player Marco van Basten was. In fact, he was so influential on the game, and because his injury had such an effect that tackling from behind was outlawed because of his injuries. His injuries were essentially his Achilles. He was one of the greatest centre forwards that has ever been. He was an incredible player. So if you're talking about retirements from injuries, he was one of the real standout ones. The one I can really remember as being a massive shock, a player being in his prime, would probably be Cantona. When Cantona retired, he literally just went, I've had enough. And he was in his prime, but incredible. When he, it was a massive shock, but he'd made his decision, and that's the kind of player he was, or person he is. Steve Kelly says, how's the healthy eating going? I've lost a stone in 8 weeks. Yeah, I mean, I try and be healthy when I eat. I try and make things from scratch. So, like, if I make spaghetti bolognese, I'll buy all the ingredients separate. So I'll buy like chopped tomatoes, and I'll put my own like spices and stuff like that in it, because you know what everything is then. And when you get like a ragu, it's full of sugar and stuff. Same with like chili and things like that. I try and make them all. It's not easy, especially when you're sitting in here. And a lot of the time, I don't really bring anything in to eat here. So when you feel a bit low, you just grab, some chocolate or something. But to be honest, I don't know. Lack of exercise. That's why I've been trying to play footy again. Lack of exercise. So I just need to do more exercise, more than anything. I always feel thinner when I get my haircut as well. So I came in before, and Chris from the Redmen said, have you lost weight? I went, no, I've just had my haircut. And I shaved my beard down. I always feel like as soon as I do that, I feel like I've lost some weight. Or maybe look like I've lost some weight. Maybe that's the key. Just keep getting my haircut. Michael says, yeah, some bad injuries. About Andrew Luck. He says, Everton lifting the spirits this week for sure. Dan Martin says, has Richarlison gone with Brazil? Just because I haven't seen him on any of the pictures. And he put a picture of himself yesterday of him at Finch Farm. I think he has. I never seen the squad, but I think he has. They're in Miami, aren't they? They're playing Colombia, which is ridiculous. But yeah, but I haven't seen him with the squad. But I presume he is. Let's just see if there's any news going about. As I said, this is literally the most boring week. The week after a game, going into an international is the most boring week in football. Nothing happens. All that happens is you get... Well, you might have a few more this week because it's coming off the back of the transfer window shutting. But... no, there's very, very little. Makes my job very hard. David Collins says, even when the window's shut, we can still talk to clubs about players. That's why deals get done early. Marcel knows what he's doing. I'm happy with the business he's done so far, and Marco is a very good coach. Europe needs our business and expertise. I can't see Brexit being an issue long term. No, it will be rocky for a couple of years. No, it will. It will be long term. It will be long term. And honestly, Europe doesn't need our business. Europe can go anywhere. We think we're something we're not. That's our biggest problem in this country. We think we're something we're not. Europe will get along just fine without us. And that's what people in this country have got to realise. And it won't take a couple of years because we're so entrenched in the deals that we're in that it will take so, and if we just cut them, it will take so long just to renegotiate deals that and it won't be fine because it's not fair on the kids of this country that people are cutting the legs from underneath them. It's not fair from a generation that have got nothing to moan about. That's what annoys me more than anything. It's a generation of people that have got nothing to moan about. That's what annoys me the most about Brexit. Stephen Kelly says, cooking a spag bol and watching this. Timo says, that Cantona speech from last week, though. He's just a funny man. Stephen Kelly says, in 20 years, how many players would you say are Everton legends? In the 20 years, in 20 years or in the last 20 years? There's only a handful of Everton legends, basically. Dixie Dean, the 85 team, the Holy Trinity, Alec Young, probably most of the 66 team as well. Dave Hickson, Brian LeBone, Ted Sagar. Yeah, they're probably as far as I would go as say Everton legends. Steve S says, how long is the winter break this year and when does it start? I think it starts is it the second week in January? And basically what happens is, so basically the Premier League doesn't stop. What happens is that there's a full fixture list, and then the following week there's only half a fixture list, and then the following week there's another half fixture list. So everyone gets 2 weeks off, essentially. So everyone gets like one Saturday off, so it's a 2-week break. And you're not allowed to do anything in that 2 weeks, I think, in terms of play any games commercially or anything like that. So David Collins says, what do you think about Endgame breaking the record? Yeah, deserved to. Happy it did. I like Avatar, but that doesn't really deserve to be the highest grossing film of all time. I'm not really sure how it was. But delighted. Steve Hardy, what? This is dark, this, mate. What's the worst dream you've ever had? I keep having a recurring dream that my dog dies. That's dark, that. We're really sharing today, aren't we? We're really sharing. We're getting in there today. I don't know. I forget most of my dreams. You wake up, don't you? And then about 5 seconds later, you sort of remember a couple of things, and then next minute, boom, it's gone. Probably for the best. I don't know. I've had plenty of nightmares. But yeah, I think Dingo explains it the best, doesn't it? In Inception, when he's like, you never remember how you get to a place in a dream. You're just there. When she's sitting there, and she's like, "Oh yeah." That's a dark one, that. I love the ones where it's like, where the people telling you what a dream means, and you can find out, and it's like, isn't there something to do with, like, if you lose your teeth in a dream, it means something, and and I don't think anyone could be classed as a legend in the last 20 years, Steve, to be honest. I don't think we've had any legend. I think you've got to win something or do something to be a legend. And this generation is the luckiest generation. This generation isn't the luckiest. The generation of people who have fucking us over are the luckiest, one of the luckiest. Not the luckiest generation, but just, I think there's a lot of people in this country who moan about stuff who don't actually have anything to moan about. And a lot of people with very expensive houses that I'm sure they worked hard for, but still want to cut the legs off. Yeah. Any more light-hearted questions? It's gone very dark. Quite literally, it's going to be dark outside. Isn't it weird how quick? Like, as soon as it hits September, it just feels like it's autumn. I know that's sort of the point, but it really does. It's just like, boom. Let me just refresh. Right, anything else happening? This is got to be the most boring day in footy ever. Does anyone get excited for the international games, by the way? I mean, if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. You know, there's no right or wrong answer. Do you Americans still watch and watch your... Do you still get excited about America, the American games? Because I know maybe till, I don't know. I know about a year ago when a lot of the younger players were coming through, I think you were getting quite excited. And obviously when the old guard were in there, but I don't know, recently it seems like the American team, a lot, the attendances seem to be down in the American games. A lot of the star names have gone now. A lot of the players in there are quite young. Timo, where you going next week? What are you most looking forward to seeing? I'm going to Wales. I'm going to Wales for a week. I'm hoping to do America next year. So it's just a week in Wales for me. Just trying to try and chill out for a week. Just, I don't know. Just get away from it. Just go for some nice walks and that's it really. Nothing much. Not exciting. It's just a week away. Just to chill out. Feel a bit burnt out by the last few weeks. With the season starting and being on my own and everything. So yeah, and then hopefully next year go to America in the summertime to the West Coast. Hopefully, maybe probably go to California again next year. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully. But yeah, nothing too exciting, but just chilling out. Stephen Kelly says, this City team or the United team of the 90s? It's a tough one, that, isn't it? Because I suppose the City team have got to win as much as the United team, but the City team are just a better football team. But they haven't won a European Cup, and you know they haven't done what United have done. You know, United won a treble, FA Cup, Premier League, and European Cup. You know, no one's done that in this country apart from them. And they were a great side. Okay, it wasn't. They didn't play football the way Man City play football, but they played good football though, and football the way I like to see it as well. Loads of crosses and you know, loads of great goals and loads of tenacity and it was good football. It just wasn't sort of like the City way. So that's football's changed. It's a different way. Football goes in cycles as well, and at the moment, a lot of teams are playing out from the back, and you know the new rule with the goal kick, that's sort of helping as well, and the keepers now as well. I've seen a stat before, and it was comparing Jordan Pickford to Liverpool goalie and the City goalie, and their pass accuracy was like 80s. His was like 57% from last season. And he wasn't great last season. He started well this season. But it starts from the goalkeeper and it starts from the back, and you're opening teams up. And you're seeing that drifting down the league. There was a goal at the weekend, I think it was on Rochdale. Started the goalkeeper and it went all the way through. And you're seeing it now. Teams want to play football. People are starting to understand the tactics of that as well. I know a lot of people question, why do teams play around with it at the back? And it's all a bit pointless. But you're trying to draw the opposition in so you can create space to push on. I think we're all becoming a little bit more savvy of that. So So, yeah. Steve Donahue says, I was looking at some of Del's comments about Everton's game management. You can see what the influence he has. Yeah, we mentioned this on the News Daily yesterday. He was talking about winning mentality and how he wants to win every game. And if you're going to play a game, you might as well go and try and win it. And, you know, I think he'll have a huge effect on the team and on the squad. And the more play... It's why like Man City went and bought like Arsenal players when they were trying to close the gap on Arsenal. You know, buying players with a winning mentality, players who know what it's about. You're always trying to get to the next level and the next level and the next level. And you can't have enough players that have won stuff. Because if you've won stuff, it means you're a good player. If you've been part of a squad that's won a few things. So, yeah, he's. I think he's going to be an excellent signing. Steve S says, I hate the international games. Fair dues, mate. Timo says, I used to get excited until about 2017. What happened in 2017? Let me know. Need to know. Olaf says, if Brexit happens, will there be any consequences regarding foreign players in the Premier League? Could the FA or the league make rules that team can only have a certain number of foreign players? They could, if they wanted to. At the moment, there isn't any. I don't think there's any plans to change the rules. But, you know, if I don't think it'll affect the Premier League because it's a higher quality of player. But, you know, who's to say it wouldn't start affecting the teams in the Championship, let's say. It might be tougher to get a work permit. They're saying at the moment it won't be affected, but a lot of things are getting said at the moment. Lots of things. Any chance of getting one or two of the originals in during the break in football? Not my call. I'm sorted for the week. I've got no time for anything this week. I have to gas Baz because I'm done. I've got everything planned out now for the rest of the week. What would happen if Baz gets delayed in America and you go away? Who is in charge? Nobody's in charge. There's only me and Baz. There's nobody else. So there'd be no shows. And that's just the way it is. I am not facing the wrath of my missus by saying I've got to stay and do shows. It's on Baz. Baz will be to blame. or Dorian would be to blame. Hurricane Dorian. I'm sure he'll be back by Monday. I'm sure he will. Saying that, I mean, even Tuesday will do because there's no final word for Monday. So, all right, it wouldn't be a live show, but I'm sure he'll be back. And what I've seen from the hurricane is it's going to be gone. It's going to be like up the coast by Thursday. So I suppose it depends if how the planes fly out. Would they be able to fly like round it? And what is the weather like around it? So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be too bad in Orlando as such because that's central. But it's flying home, isn't it? It's also planes getting to Orlando if they can't get there. So his plane that he's flying home in mightn't be there because it mightn't be able to get in. But I'm sure it'll be fine. Timo, we just need the young players to play in games that matter. Then we'll start ramping up in the excitement. The attendance is down because the sky prices for bad friendlies with B squad, some are American, by the way. That's the problem, isn't it? I think the US men's national team was riding on a real. It was riding on a real wave there, but they kept on pushing the older players and they never really put the younger players in, and now it's just all younger players. And you're right, you can't go and watch them and think, oh, this is going to be a great team, and then pay the prices you paid. It's seen that in America in the summer as well with the international champions thing. Prices are through the roof. The teams had no players in them, and people didn't go because they knew. People know now that all the best players aren't there because they've been playing in tournaments. So, I mean, this is a big problem, isn't it, in America? Is the price of things in terms of football. So, needs to get sorted out. Gary Ward says, yeah, I still love the US men's national team, but I've adjusted my expectations. I do think, and I've commented on this before, is that fans of the US men's national team have very strange expectations at times. I've seen a lot of them have like really high expectations, and think like sometimes when you beat a team that aren't very good or have won the Gold Cup, that suddenly made the team amazing, and then you go and play a team against an actual decent team and get beaten, and suddenly it's like rock bottom. Whereas personally, what I'd be doing if I was had something to the US men's national team is I'd get out of that those qualifiers, and I'd go to South America, and that'll toughen you up. That will toughen you up, because it's like what Australia did with I know it was slightly different because the Oceanic group had to play one of the South American teams to qualify, and they went to Asia to try and get a straightforward qualifying. But I think America needs to go and play better teams more often, because they just play too many crap teams and get false expectations. Timo says, come and visit Chicago sometime. Beautiful all year round, but spring, summer here is unbeatable. No, I'd love to do it. I'd love to do I'd love to do a bit of a drive. But it's one of those things, isn't it? I personally, at the moment, can only really go to America, like say every 3 years. And it's like, because you can only go every 3 years, and you want to like almost have guaranteed fun, don't you? That's why like loads of people go to Orlando in this country, because it's guaranteed fun. You know you're going to have a good time. There's no messing about. And we sort of feel the same about like the West Coast. If we're going to go to like San Francisco and then go to LA, it's guaranteed to be good. So, but I would love to. I'd love to do a tour of some of the Everton supporters pubs and stuff all around America. David Collins says, England are an established World Cup team, so friendlies are just training games. Does the Eternals get you excited moving away from football? Yeah, I mean, I'll have to see more. I'm hoping it's not going to be like whatever that program was. That was Inhumans. It's got an Inhumans vibe about it, which they need to get rid of very, very quickly. But it's got some really big actors in it, and then maybe if they weave like Thanos into it somewhere, it'll be really good. But need to see more about it, of course. Steve Donahue, if you think that buying players with a winning mentality is what we need, then would you pay the Premier League premium, i.e. overpriced players? I know they have foreign players, have winning titles, but Premier League experts is a big help. It depends if you've got the money for those players, doesn't it? I do think you need some of them. I think you need like a sprinkling of them. I think the quickest way to success is buying players who've had success. But that requires you to spend a hell of a lot of money. It's what Chelsea did when they got the money. It's what City did when they got the money. You go out there and you buy class players who've already won things. We're not in that position right now. But it is a shortcut. Definitely a shortcut. Michael Hull Factor says a little, but most players aren't American born. They are just passport holders, so the connection is a bit weird. Not making the World Cup really killed interest. I wouldn't be too worried about that, Michael. I mean, that used to be the case with Ireland. It was the Irish team in the late 80s and early 90s had loads of players that were like, you know, their mums and dads were Irish or their grandparents. In fact, Tony Cascarino played Irish football because of his dad, and then he found out his dad wasn't his dad, so he had actually no right to play for Ireland. But if they believe they're Irish and they've chose to play for Ireland, then you've just got to get behind them, haven't you? I mean, obviously American. If these kids all believe they're Americans, and I know loads of them are because of their dads were on bases in Germany and stuff like that, but if they believe they're American, then they're American, aren't they? You know, blame the people in America for not making football more popular and maybe pricing out kids in inner cities and stuff like that. Steve Hardy, do you reckon Delph would have played Sunday if Gbamin hadn't gotten injured? I don't know, mate. I mean, when Gbamin started the season, Delph wasn't available to play. So that's why you have a squad, isn't it? That's why you have a squad. It's not about like the best 11 now. It's about a squad. Hopefully the manager has a best 11 in his head. But how often do you get to play that? Been saying this for a while. You've got to be able to swap players out for other players who are good players. And that hasn't been the case in the past. So let's hope that you know, going forward we do. We do have good players in every position. Michael, to be honest, a lot of football fans that follow the Premier League are following England and all national teams with their favourite players from the Premier League team. What is that in America? I find that weird. I find that very weird. I mean, I'll always watch a game if like an Everton player is playing in it. You know, I'll watch like Brazil if Richarlison's playing, or if there's some kind of interest, I'll watch it, and I want them to win, but I don't want them to like. I wouldn't want them to like, you know, I don't know. I wouldn't like follow them. That's weird. They're not a team. They're a country. Let's have a look. Stuart says, loving the channel, Ped. Everything you said about Redknapp yesterday was 100%. Fan channels are way forward, and Toffee TV is the best. Toffee TV is the best. I mean, it's not, you know, I mean, to be fair, them next door, they're very, very good. Very, very good at what they do. They have, what? They have like 6 or 7 full-time staff. They have really good presenters. They have really good tech staff. They have good equipment. And everything we do is just like learning off them, which we do. And there used to be like a massive gap in terms of everything we did, but we've been like making that gap smaller and smaller and smaller in terms of like the equipment we use and stuff like that, and doing like live shows and all that kind of thing. That's all getting smaller and smaller and smaller, which is really good. And that's something like I'm like making sure and pushing for all the time. But they're brilliant. They're brilliant because they do all kinds of different things, and they've got it all boxed off as well. They've got the right, like when they do stuff after the match, it's all like they've got people who don't even go to the match, who watch it in like a pub, and then have all the equipment, and then go meet the lads who have gone the match outside the game and film all the stuff, and then get it all edited in the night time to get it out. And you know, that's like, you know, it's not dedication, it's their job. We're still relying on me and Baz, and if one of us is not here, if both of us are not here, we're done for. But that's just trying to build your channel. They've got a few years on us, and they're the channel of the Champions of Europe as well. So, you know, they sell T-shirts and books, and they have more people on their private channel, and they get more money off YouTube, and so it allows them those freedoms. They can employ people. I would love to employ people. I'd love to employ someone to do all the work for me. but it's getting there. But in terms of like mixed content, I look at some of the other channels who are doing big numbers, and I just think you're getting those big numbers because people are watching because they're laughing at you, not because the stuff's good. But hey ho. Timo 2020 Toffee TV American Tour .gofundme.com. We've always said, me and Baz, that if Everton come over, we'll come over. And that's what we want to do. We would love to come to the States and do like a night somewhere and have a guest, whoever that may be, or guests. I would love to do that. I would love to watch Everton play in America. The last time they were over there, me and Eric were doing the Folletonians, and like I just couldn't afford to go over at the time. That we didn't. Folletonians wasn't earning any money, and we had the scarves, and a lot of people bought the scarves, and that was good. But I'd love to have come over and done something, but yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was. It just wasn't at a level we could do it, and I'd love someone to have like paid for us to come over or something, but there wasn't the money just wasn't there. The interest wasn't there. But I'm sad I missed out on that one because it was brilliant. But yeah, maybe next time. Mark says, reminder to fill out the Player of the Month form. Make sure you do it. David Collins says, Sane for 60 million. I mean, yeah, definitely. I'd definitely buy Sane for 60 million. Stephen Kelly says, have you ever come close to getting any current players in the studio? No. The club are just weird. They're weird, man. They're just weird. You have conversations with them, and it's just, when you have the conversations, they promise you all kinds, and then you don't hear from them again for like months. They're just weird, honestly. It's like they just completely it's like they walk out the room and they completely forget about you. But that's just the way it is. We don't rely on it, so it doesn't really matter. So it is what it is. We don't rely on them, so it's not an issue. Right, let's just check YouTube. Right, I'm going to call it a night there, guys. Done an hour. That hour went really quick. An hour with very little to talk about, but we somehow got through for an hour, so that's good. That's what I like. Yeah, so nice one for joining me again. I'll be back tomorrow. Might have Andy with me. So, all good. So I will see you then. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you later. Take it easy.